Hi everybody, it's Alisa Murray here in the Sweet Life Kitchen, and today we're going to be making homemade buttermilk fudge pie, which honestly, I don't think there's anything better than homemade buttermilk fudge pie. And especially when you make it with homemade vanilla that my sister makes with almost moonshine. I think she makes hers with Everclear, and I'm always asking her for some of it because it makes the very best pies and cakes and homemade whipped creams than you can imagine. So today we're going to get started with that. I want to show you how to do it. It's really easy breezy. You're going to need 3 eggs, 1/4 cup of flour, 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, almost a cup, just a little bit under a cup of homemade buttermilk. And if you don't know how to do that, all you do is take milk and then squeeze a lemon in it, and that makes it buttermilk, which is awesome. 1/2 cup of softened butter, 2 cups of sugar, and a little pinch of salt, and then a dollop, of course, of the vanilla. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to put your eggs in your blender, and you're going to put with the eggs your butter and your sugar. So those are the eggs. We're going to save those eggs. For those of you watching the Sweet Life Garden channel, you'll know that what we do with these eggs is feed those tomatoes with it. So I never throw away my eggshells. I always make an egg tea for that. So that's where they'll be going shortly. And then let me get a little spatula. Little wooden spoon action here. And get the butter in there. And I just put it in the microwave for just a second, just to get it where it was softened up. And then I'm going to pour in all of the sugar and the salt. So we'll turn this on. I have my blender mixer attachment for my blender on. Okay, that looks really good. Now I'm going to add in about half of my buttermilk and all of the 1/4 cup of the flour. And I'm going to let that go for a little bit. Then I'm going to finish up with the rest of that buttermilk and all of the cocoa powder. The other thing, guys, you might want to make a note of too is that if you don't like chocolate, but I don't know who doesn't, but if you don't like chocolate, you can just make this without the cocoa powder, and it's a perfectly fabulous buttermilk fudge pie, buttermilk pie without the fudge. So this recipe does do that as well, but my family happens to like the chocolate version, so we always make it with the chocolate. The other thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a dollop. When I say a dollop, it's just an eyeball, but probably if you were trying to measure it, maybe a full tablespoon of the vanilla. And if you've got really strong vanilla, maybe a little bit less. If you've got store-bought vanilla, maybe a little bit more. Just depends on your taste and what you like. So that's good and blended. So now what we're going to do is we're going to detach this blender attachment, and I'm going to grab a pan that I can put the pie on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a spatula and I'm going to just push that into the store-bought pie crust. You can make pie crust if you want to. I just happen to have a couple in the freezer all the time, so I am able to make quiches and pies and whatnot without having to go to the trouble of making the dough, but all of it's perfectly fine. And you just pour that in there, and as you can see, it actually perfectly fits, because I think the measurements for this recipe have always been perfectly set up to do just that, which is what we want. No leftovers. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in a 350-degree oven. Whenever I get back with you guys, it'll have cooked, and I'll show it to you when we're all done. We'll see you in a few minutes. That fudge pie is done. Yay! I'm so excited. I take it out of the oven. The way you know it's done is whenever the Center of the pie is just barely jiggling. So it's about an hour at a 350 degree oven to make this thing cook. And as you can see, it's really gorgeous. Whoopsie. It's really gorgeous. Now it needs to cool down. And after it cools down, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some homemade whipped cream with some vanilla extract from my sister's kitchen. So I'll see you guys next week on the next episode. If you found any value in this and you love chocolate like we do at our house, please like it and share it and ring the bell so that you're aware of what's going on in the Sweet Life Kitchen each week. We've got lots of cool recipes from our garden and from our home to you guys out there in the worldwide web, and look forward to seeing you guys soon. Take care.